It's no secret that our healthcare system is broken, and the answer is obviously far from simple. Now, medical cost-sharing ministries are popping up, offering consumers an option outside of traditional health insurance. But are they the answer to rising medical costs or another case of money versus medicine? With health insurance becoming harder to navigate and more expensive than ever, people have been turning to groups called cost-sharing ministries for their medical bills. They pay monthly dues in hopes that if a large medical cost should arise, the group will foot the bill. However, the groups say nothing is guaranteed, and because they aren't insurance companies, they don't follow the same laws. And there's no shortage of people coming forward saying they took a huge financial hit because of a cost-sharing ministry. One man, Keith, was paying over $500 a month towards a plan that he was led to believe was similar to traditional health insurance. When doctors informed him he needed a complex back surgery, Keith checked with the hospital and his cost-sharing ministry to make sure he would be covered before he scheduled the procedure. Everyone assured Keith he would be covered and had nothing to worry about. But while he was in recovery, he received the shock of a lifetime. Joining us now to discuss via Skype is Keith. So you come out of surgery, you've had this necessary surgery performed. Purely looking at this from your experience with the cost-sharing ministry, what happened when it came time to pay the bill?
There was a denial. The hospital got involved. They sent me a letter offering me a self-pay rate just for the hospital stay alone was $119,000. That was about a $40,000 savings of what the insurance cost would have been.
And then what was the total amount you were on the hook for, Keith?
I guess somewhere in the ballpark of about $215,000 between anesthesiologists, the doctors, the 4 days in the hospital.
Where do things stand now for you with all of this?
It's really, I kind of wrote it off. I met with a bankruptcy attorney because there's absolutely no way at this point in my life that I will ever get out from that type of money.
And I think your story, if I may interject, is an example of you felt or thought you were part of a traditional insurance system, but you were not. And that really is why we're talking about this. A lot of people, they make assumptions, and rightly so. You think you have a necessary procedure or surgery, you end up with the bills, your insurance, or in this case, cost-sharing ministry doesn't pay for it, and here you are staring bankruptcy in the face. Joining us now to discuss this further via Skype are Washington State Insurance Commissioner Mike Kreidler, as well as Consumer Protection Attorney Peter Holland. Because Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not aware that these cost-sharing ministries existed in today's day and age. And what is insurance? Well, in many ways, you're pooling people together to help mitigate risk. And the theory of this sounds fine to me, but how are they different from traditional insurance? And how are people like Keith, quite frankly, having their lives ruined because of it?
Well, for regular insurance, they're going to be obligated to spend 80 cents of every dollar paying for providers, hospitals, doctors, pharmacy costs that are associated with these plans that we're talking about right now. The bad actors, we're really talking about, they only spend 16 cents of every dollar to providers paying on claims. So these are people that have hijacked legitimate health sharing ministries to the point where they're not offering any real coverage. It's fairly limited, but even if you go to a regular, legitimate one, you're going to find that they have limited coverage. But some of these are really bottom feeders that are taking advantage of consumers.
So that other 84% is just going into the profit of these entities.
Absolutely, it goes to pay for the people that are marketing, agents and brokers. It's going to the company itself. They're in this business to make money. They're for-profit entities that we're talking about, as opposed to the kind of co-op, local church type of operation, which was envisioned originally for these sharing ministries.